If you're about to buy a phone under $200, I'm going to try to stop you. Not because these phones are bad, but because most people buy the wrong one. The Infinix Hot 60 Pro and Hot 60 Pro Plus look insane on paper. Displays, thickness, design, specs that usually cost almost double this price. And that's exactly the trap, because what looks crazy good on a spec sheet doesn't always survive real use. So before you spend your money and live with the choice every single day, hit that like button and let's see if these phones deserve your money or deserve to be skimped. First of all, the phone boxes are very generous. Infinix included everything for you, starting with a 45 watts charger for both phones, a charging cable, wired earphones, a case, and a screen protector. A light screen protector for the Pro because of its flat display, and a curved glass screen protector for the Pro Plus. And I need to tell you, the quality of the case and the screen protector is not the best, and you'll struggle a bit at first until you find proper accessories when the phones first launch. But these phones have already started selling and spreading, especially the Hot 60 Pro. The design of these phones is nice. We're talking about very light and slim phones in the budget category. The Pro is 6.6 millimeters thick and weighs 170 grams. This phone is lighter and thinner than almost all budget phones, and the Plus takes it even further with a thickness of 5.95 millimeters, basically 6 millimeters, and an extremely light weight of 155 grams. Guys, the in-hand feel is really good. Yes, I said in the short video that it feels premium or more premium in hand. The materials themselves are average, of course, but tell me which budget phone gives you this kind of in-hand feel. It honestly feels very good. Don't be scared by the light weight or the thin body when it comes to build quality. I tried pressing on it a bit. Not aggressively, of course. I'm not going to put it in a press machine, and it's not an iPhone after all. But overall, it feels acceptable. Of course, you shouldn't put it in your back pocket and sit on it or do the usual mistakes we all do. If you're someone who's rough with phones, I honestly wouldn't recommend the Plus. Stick with the Pro. But if you're someone who wants to try something different and unique, a phone that anyone who sees it in your hand will ask, "What is this weird, thin, light phone?" then you can consider the Plus. The materials on both phones are plastic, of course, like all budget phones, but I felt the Plus has slightly better materials. It feels more like a polymer finish, similar to the Samsung A17. Infinix says they're resistant to drops up to 1.5 meters, but still don't drop these phones. The design itself is very nice, with calm color options, and honestly, the camera layout looks good in real life. Yes, there are 3 cameras, but only one of them actually works. The rest are just for looks, to keep up with trends and all that. But honestly, none of this is really a deal breaker. In the short video for the Hot 60 Pro, I mentioned that I didn't like the back finishing. The back panel is slightly sunken into the frame, which causes dust to get stuck in that area. I found a lot of people talking about this issue. It's not a fatal flaw, but you're getting high specs for low money, so don't expect perfect build quality with zero flaws. Use your head. You paid a low price, so of course there are some compromises. The Plus, on the other hand, I don't notice the same issue. Its finishing feels slightly better than the Hot 60 Pro. Again, this doesn't make the Pro a bad phone. The Pro has an extra AI button. Honestly, it's not something you should chase. The Plus, however, has a notification light. It's not exactly a light, but more like a soft glow that appears around the third camera, which is actually fake, with notifications and such. Personally, I think the notification light is a cooler feature than the extra button, but tell me what you think. Both phones have light water splash resistance, IP65 for the Plus and IP64 for the Pro. Do not put either phone in water. Now let's talk about the most impressive thing here, the displays. Both phones have a 6.78-inch display, 1.5K AMOLED at 144 Hz. Tell me, to get a display like this, how much would you usually pay? At least 1.5 times the price of these phones, whether it's the Hot 60 Pro or the Hot 60 Pro Plus. And you also get choices, a completely flat display if you're not into curved screens, that's on the Pro, and a lightly curved display on the left and right edges on the Pro Plus. This is probably the cheapest phone with a curved display. Both displays are bright, colors are very good, resolution is good, and brightness goes up to nearly 1600 nits. We usually don't see this level of brightness under sunlight in this price category, but I do have 2 or 3 notes about the displays. First, touch response. There's been a lot of talk about this. I tried typing on both phones and noticed a slight delay. At first, I thought it was because of the annoying vibration while typing, so I turned it off, and typing became much better. Yes, there's still a tiny millisecond level delay, but it's honestly negligible. Typing became very smooth, and the screen edges respond just fine, so I wouldn't count this as a real issue, especially since it exists on most budget phones. The second note is about the 144 Hz. This isn't a stutter issue, just an explanation, so you don't think, why doesn't this feel like 144 Hz? Most of the time, the phone runs at 90 or 120 Hz. You can manually choose which apps run at which refresh rate, but you'll only actually see 144 Hz in about 3 places in the system, and they're not important at all. So treat these as normal 120 Hz displays. The third issue is screen replacement cost. These are budget phones, I know, and you're buying them to get high specs for low money. But if something happens to these displays later, be prepared to pay more than half the phone's price just to replace the screen. These displays are genuinely good, so of course they're expensive. Just keep these 3 points in mind. On the bright side, Infinix included Gorilla Glass 7i protection on both screens and temporary screen protectors in the box until you find a good replacement. When we get to performance, you'll see that Infinix didn't hold back. They included the best budget chipset, the MediaTek G200, built on a 6nm process with 256GB of UFS 2.2 storage and 8GB of real RAM expandable up to another 8GB through software. Both phones run Android 15 with an official promise from Infinix of 3 years of Android updates and 2 additional years of security updates. That's a long support period for Infinix, and I really hope they stick to it. When I first turned on the Pro, I found an update. Then later another update, and when I opened the Pro Plus, there was also an update, so that's a good sign. Now let's talk about real-world performance. Both phones perform very well, but this isn't a massive leap over budget phones with the G99 or G100. Performance is very similar because the difference between the G99, G100, and G200 is around a 10% increase, mainly in the GPU frequency. You'll notice it a little bit in games, which we'll talk about later. Other than that, the overall experience is very good. Don't think I'm saying performance is bad. No, this is one of the best budget experiences, but it's not exceptional. The displays are exceptional. Performance is solid and good. Infinix's UI is fine. I don't have major issues with it. It's acceptable, but it's not highly optimized when it comes to app opening speed. It's not like Samsung's UI, which can sometimes feel faster even with a weaker chipset. Scrolling inside apps, however, is smooth and very good on both phones. But I did notice something. The notification shade has a slight lag when you pull it down. The animation feels a bit slow and awkward. I'm pointing out all these small details because if you're coming from a mid-range phone, I want you to know exactly what to expect. But as I keep saying, this is how almost all budget phones behave.
PUBG runs at 60 frames on both phones, and the experience is very good. It's smooth, smoother than the A16 and the A17, just so you can relax. In PUBG, it warms up a bit, but it's not over the top heat, and honestly, I'm surprised they don't get that hot. Phones this slim usually don't stay this cool. Yes, it warms up, it gets a bit warm, that's normal, but not to the point where it's burning up or where the phone starts having problems and you can't even hold it in your hand. So the cooling is actually very good for how thin the phones are. The fingerprint scanners under the display are fast, but sometimes I see the animation and other times I don't see the animation at all and it unlocks instantly. It's kind of random. But at the end of the day, it's a fast fingerprint scanner and it works well. Now, focus with me. Both phones have a very strong sensor combo. The proximity sensor for calls is a real sensor on both phones and it works perfectly. The gyroscope, if you're asking, is real on both phones and it works perfectly. NFC is available on both phones, no problem. The IR sensor is also available on both phones. Alright, we checked a lot of boxes. Now, here's an important point. The extra microphone for noise cancellation during calls is not on the Pro, and it is on the Pro Plus. So what difference does that make in real use? I'll tell you. I made calls on this one and made calls on that one. On the regular Pro, if there's noise around you, it tries to cancel it using AI. But your voice drops by about 10%. So if your phone is under load, you left PUBG running in the background, you have an app downloading something, Chrome is loading, and you've got multiple apps open like Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, Snapchat, and then a call comes in, the AI can lag for a moment in the middle, and that could make the person you're talking to go, wait, what's going on? But I'll say something you need to know. That extra mic isn't even common in the budget class. It's only in maybe 1 or 2 phones. Most other budget phones don't even have an extra mic at all, just so you stay realistic. It's basically Samsung and maybe one other brand that actually gives you an extra mic in the budget segment. But the rest, Realme and Oppo for example, you won't even find an extra mic in the first place. The Plus has the extra mic and it works perfectly. Now for call speaker audio, the earpiece itself, the regular Pro's earpiece is louder than the Plus. Yes, exactly like you heard. That was my experience. Maybe it's because of the extreme thinness of the Pro Plus, but just keep that in mind. So here's the summary. If you don't care about audio quality and you only care about loudness, the Pro is louder than the Plus. But in terms of sound quality, the Plus sounds nicer than the Pro. And there's another point we have to count. Honestly, shout out to Infinix for even giving you stereo speakers in phones this slim, because Apple, with all its prestige, on the iPhone Air, they put one speaker, the earpiece speaker, and it sounds thin and messy. So yeah, extreme thinness comes with compromises. The sound isn't a disaster, it's not a problem, and if you're coming from an expensive stereo phone, don't sit here and say, bro, the sound is terrible. No, it's still good, and for the budget category, where most phones don't even offer stereo speakers, this is solid. By the way, the Honor X7 5G had insane stereo sound. It could be compared to the S25 Ultra. That was the best stereo sound I heard in this category, but its screen was painful. Call recording, both of these phones have call recording, and I don't know how it records without telling the other person. I mean, Infinix, I'm going to report you. But keep in mind, because the Pro Plus is extremely thin, it does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack. The Pro does have the 3.5mm headphone jack. As for cellular reception and Wi-Fi, they're excellent, guys. No issues at all. The signal is genuinely strong. The battery on both phones is 5,160 milliamps. Infinix clearly didn't aim for huge batteries here, because these are thin phones. I know other phones in this price segment come with 6,000, 6,500, 7,000, and those crazy numbers, but those are heavy, chunky phones. These are light phones. Battery life, honestly, isn't bad at all. It'll take you to the end of the day, about 7 to 8 hours of screen on time with average use. If you're asking about gaming only, in PUBG, around 5.5 hours continuously. That's not bad. And the 45-watt charger in the box charges them in about an hour and 15 minutes. Both phones also support a feature where you can play while keeping the phone plugged in the whole time. Bypass charging. It basically bypasses the battery to help preserve it. Let's finish with the cameras. Both phones have a 50-megapixel main rear camera, but the Plus uses a Sony IMX882 sensor, while the Pro's sensor isn't clearly listed. So in theory, the Plus should give you a better camera experience. We'll see in a bit. The selfie camera is 13 megapixels on both phones. Both shoot portrait at 1x and 2x using the main lens. Yes, there are no other real lenses. They record video at 2K with the rear and the front cameras. Let's test the cameras together. Honestly, the rear camera experience is pretty decent on both phones, and what surprised me is the Plus. That Sony sensor gives you photos with really good processing, leaning more towards mid-range phones, not budget phones at all. Infinix is improving a lot in cameras, and it's obvious from my experience with these phones. Overall, the Pro is around the level of the Samsung A17 in photo quality, not video. The A17 wins in video, but the Pro Plus honestly beats the A17 in photos, and it can be compared to the more expensive A26. Well done, Infinix, for a very reasonable experience in this budget category. As for selfies, the Plus is clearly better in processing than the regular Pro. The regular Pro's selfie is just okay, not that great. The Plus selfie is better by a couple of steps, and at the end of the day, these are opinions. I'll leave you now with the video samples. And this is a video recording test, but in full HD, not 2K, so we can get stabilization. Stabilization here is done through the gyroscope sensor, not optical stabilization. There's no real optical stabilization. You can clearly see the sensor difference here. The IMX882 on the Plus versus the Pro. Details are better, colors are better, the sensor itself is better. Let's jump to 2X. It's right in front of you. I'm seeing them on the phone screens, so let's watch them together on one screen and judge properly. Is the Plus actually better than the Pro in video too, like it was in photos, or what? The selfie aperture is also different on the Plus, better than the Pro. That's something we didn't mention. And the shooting angle is also a bit wider. I'm extending my arm the same way, and I'm recording in full HD on both phones so we can keep stabilization. So let's see. Is there a difference in selfie video quality too? Is the Plus better than the Pro, or is it just a slightly wider angle? The prices: the Hot 60 Pro with 256 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM is priced at $150, and the Pro Plus with 256 gigabytes of storage and 8 gigabytes of RAM is priced at $200. All prices mentioned are approximate estimates, meant to give you a general idea. Please check local prices in your country for accuracy. There's a difference here. The Pro supports running 2 SIM cards and a memory card at the same time, while the Plus supports 2 SIM cards but does not support a memory card. And of course, both phones do not support eSIM. We're talking about very budget phones here, so don't be greedy. Bottom line, both phones offer a very good package in the budget category. For me and for you, the Hot 60 Pro is the more practical phone. It's cheaper, and it gives you all the core features found in the Plus without the headache of curved edges and the curved glass screen protector adapter that you'll keep searching for, and every time you'll struggle to find a good screen protector. That kind of headache is acceptable in more expensive phones, but you're not buying a cheap phone just to suffer with screen protector issues. The real fundamental difference between them, the Plus has a notification light, a slightly better rear camera sensor, better selfie camera processing, an extra microphone for noise cancellation, and it's thinner and lighter with a curved display. And yes, that difference is honestly worth the $50. I'm not exaggerating or saying nonsense. That difference is $50, and in some other phones it's even more. But if you ask me about the safer deal, the phone you buy without worrying about anything, the Hot 60 Pro is my choice. That's my opinion. However, if you want to experience something different, not luxury exactly, but a unique experience, a phone that feels extremely thin and light, and you don't mind paying $200, then go for the Pro Plus. You'll enjoy it. Just keep in mind, the Plus does not have a 3.5mm headphone jack, and it does not support a memory card, both of which are available on the regular Pro. I want to sincerely thank you if you've made it this far in the video. Make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and tell me what you think about these phones. Subscribe if this is your first time watching us on YouTube, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss new phone reviews and comparisons as soon as they drop.